Command codes verified. Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Sorry for no countdown. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the live broadcast recording of episode 525 of Priority 1, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. As you can see, I forgot to add the browser to our Streamlabs. So that's what I was like, oh, crap, I got to fix this now. So yeah, we're back. Hi, Roscoe, welcome back. Nice shirt.
Hello.
Space
Thank
balls.
I wish.
Space Invaders. Oh, damn, I thought it was Space Balls.
Oh, if I had a shirt that said Spaceballs the shirt, I would. I don't know whether I would wear it or frame it.
Oh man, now I want to make a shirt that says Spaceballs the shirt. Oh, that's a great idea. I wonder if anybody makes that.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to be back. So yes, we need to fix that, and also it's lovely to be back. Thank you for understanding, and I'm sorry I had to take last week off, but I was quite unwell. And Dorian Shingles, what a bitch.
I know. Well, I'm glad that you're feeling better. At least 80-90% feeling better, and it's good to have you back.
Yeah, most of the way, like 84, 85.
84, 85. Well, it's good to have you back. Kat's typing away. Hi, Kat.
Hello. Man, password changing is like the bane of my existence. So many passwords. I mean,
Did we talk about the Orville at all coming back next in March? I should have to check it out as a bullet point.
I thought we did. We talked about how excited we were about it.
I don't remember doing that. All right, well, that is a bullet
I mean,
point.
I'm just generally excited that it's coming back. That is tremendous.
Me too. I'm really excited. That's my kind of show. All right. Are you ready to start, or Kat, do you need more time?
I'm good.
All right.
Hey, AJ. Let's see who else is in the chat.
Full Turbo TV.
Full Turbo TV. TTV.
TTV. Josh Heinrichs, what's up, Josh? Good to see you. Zeph, what's up? I hope that are you back in Canada now, Zeph, or are you still in our country? I'm sorry if you are.
Hey, Zeph.
Hello. Yeah, I loved seeing your Twitter posts about your trip.
George! Ooh, it's good to see you, George, man. Long time no talk. Actually,
Hey,
a whole
George is
year.
around. Man,
Yeah,
if I
George is
could log
watching.
into Twitch, I could say hey to George.
George is he's on Facebook. He's chatting with us on Facebook. So.
Oh, nice. Hey, George.
Josh is on YouTube as well. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, and Zeph, yeah, more photos, please, of your trip. Just you and the car that you drove around. I just want more shots of that. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Great to see you out and about in the sunshine, just enjoying life. That's really good. Very happy to see that, my dude.
And
Keep it up.
Cookie Cupcake saying hi on YouTube. What's up? Well, it's good to have you back, George. All right, why don't we jump in and do a show? Can you see I showered and I didn't bother combing my hair. Don't judge me. It's the frizzy Cuban hair.
I got a haircut yesterday,
Good for you.
so this is
I'm
looking.
gonna try
This
to
is
get a
looking as
haircut
good as it's
before-
gonna get.
I'm gonna try to get a haircut before New York Comic Con. Except I'm not gonna have a car, so that's gonna be fun to try to do. I have to return the rental tomorrow, and my car still hasn't been appraised.
What?
Delightful. I'm not driving until next year. That's pretty much what it boils down to.
Yep.
All right, ready?
Ready as we'll ever be.
Forward. And I'll let the system do a countdown, which was an immediate countdown. All right. Intro. Kat, do you mind doing the timestamps again this week?
Oh, yeah. Sure. Hold on. Do I have Notepad still? Okay.
All right. Roscoe, why don't you do the opener? We'll do intro in 3, 2.
This week on episode 525 of Priority 1, Jeffrey
I'm gonna
Combs
pull
speaks.
back a little bit. You got performance voice, and it started to peak
Oh,
the
sorry.
microphone.
I'm sorry. I was just projecting.
What the hell was that? Who
All right.
who played the bosun whistle?
I don't know.
Why did I hear a
that's,
bosun?
That's you.
Is that Streamlabs?
That's you, man.
Was that Streamlabs?
I
did
saved that
What
for
the hell was
special
that?
occasions. I didn't play that.
All right. Well, okay. All right. So
For
intro.
those of you playing at home, the bosun whistle is the.
Right. I heard it out of nowhere. What the hell was that about? All right. Go ahead. Intro when you're ready.
You got a message in Starfleet?
I don't know what the hell that was.
All right, here we go. Let's have a go. This week on episode 525 of Priority 1, Jeffrey Combs speaks in Evil Robot about his appearance on Lower Decks. Prodigy showrunners drop some details about the series a month out from the premiere, and it's confirmed the TNG cast really are one big happy family. In gaming news, a new Tier 6 remaster of a classic workhorse starship
Can you
comes to
take that
Star
back
Trek
in
Online.
gaming news because I could tell that you had not decided if you were going to say T6 or Tier 6
Or
so it came
Tier
out
6.
Tier 6.
Tier 6. Tier 6 starships. Right. In gaming news, the new Tier 6 remaster of a classic workhorse starship comes to Star Trek Online. And finally, we enter the holo-pod and look at the latest episode of Lower Decks, Excretus.
Hello, Captains. You're listening to episode 525 of Priority 1, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. Your weekly recap and review of all the major news happening in the Star Trek multiverse. This episode was recorded on Tuesday, September 28th, and available for download or streaming on Friday, October 1st at PriorityOnePodcast.com. I'm Elio.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Roscoe.
Roscoe, welcome back. It's good that you are feeling better and have recovered in part from your bout with Andorian shingles.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I would not mess with Andorian shingles because when you get a cold, you really get an Andorian cold. So I cannot recommend it. at all. But no, feeling good, getting on the mend and feeling much better. So you just sometimes you got to take a little time for yourself. And if that means you've got to go and play video games and rest and relax, then that's just what you've got to do. So
Absolutely.
happy to do that.
Well, it's good to have you back, buddy.
Thank you, mate. Lovely to be back, and great to catch up with you all as well. Thank you for your very kind words last week. And yeah, lots to talk about this week, and cannot wait.
Well, before we jump into it, we want to welcome new listeners to the show and hope you'll stay in touch. You see, this show is produced by a community of volunteers who donate their time and talents because they're passionate about what Star Trek is all about. And then Roscoe, you do Patreon this week.
What?
So, we hope you'll get involved and be a part of our community. Follow us on social media so you can share your thoughts about the weekly headlines. Join the Armada so that you can experience Star Trek gaming with like-minded Trekkies, or consider joining the team and lending your skills and passion to producing this show.
Or if you find value in this podcast, a way you can support us financially is by joining our Patreon family. It's at patreon.com/priority1. There's lots of different tiers available, so it doesn't have to be a lot. A little always helps. So if you are in a position to do that, and not everyone is, but if you are, then please consider checking us out. There's different levels there. Patreon.com/priority1.
Now let's find out what's been happening in the Star Trek multiverse. All right, that ended at 4:55.
Seriously, I'm gone a week, and the name's on the thing. You've just thrown it out the window, okay? You can't see this in the chat, but on the script, it has the name of the person who says the next bit, and then the next bit. And you know what Elio's done? He's just thrown it out the window. He's just mixed it up. There's no war. It's chaos. It's chaos. Ridiculous.
What are you talking about?
Can't work under these conditions. Oh, it's fine. It's fine for Cat. Cat just...
What?
Cat... No, you just had to read the script that was assigned to you, but no, Elio's just thrown me a curveball straight off the bat.
I swapped portions there.
Oh.
All right. So, ready for Trek It Out?
Are you ready for Track It Out?
I'm ready. I was born ready.
Excellent. All right, then. Yeah, absolutely. Then let's do this.
We're going to start Trek It Out at the 6-minute mark, please. 6 minute. 3,
Okay.
2. A great actor makes you feel, whether joy, anger, love, hate. A truly gifted thespian. It's not thespian. Thespian, sorry. A truly gifted craftsperson makes you ache for their presence, be it revered or reviled. We Star Trek fans are graced with many such actors and characters. Nimoy's Spock, Goldberg's Guinan, Combs Weyoun, Combs Brunt, Combs Penk, Combs Shran, Combs... Well, you get the picture. This week, IO9 sat down with the prolific Star Trek trooper. Jeffrey. This week, IO9 sat down with the prolific Star Trek trooper, Jeffrey Combs, to talk about our latest favorite Combs role, the devious supercomputer Agamus. Combs had glowing things to say about the writing staff of Star Trek Lower Decks, explaining to James Whitbrook of IO9 that drew him into the show. Quote, I like the script a lot, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I find it, the show, just to be really witty, rapid fire. The joke is past you before you go, what? A different tone from any Star Trek I've ever done, and I kind of like that. It's refreshing. It doesn't take itself quite so seriously as some of the other iterations. End quote. While Combs was complimentary of Lower Decks, he wasn't shy about his feelings towards the entertainment industry. When asked whether he'd return to a live-action version of the franchise, Combs said, quote, "You have to be asked to dance. You have to be invited. It's really not up to me. But I kind of feel I still have some gas in the tank. But, you know, when it comes to commerce and entertainment, it's just like cereal. New and improved. So I don't really know what goes through decision makers' minds. But there always seems to be some sort of disconnect between what the fans would enjoy and what they wind up doing. Not always, end quote. To find out how Combs felt about playing the antagonist, his thoughts on voice acting, and much more, be sure to follow the link in our show notes at PriorityOnePodcast.com.
Just plug him in, man.
I know.
He's
he
obviously
go anywhere.
angsty.
He could do anything.
Just plug him in. That's all we need to do. Just get him and plug him in. He even asked to be plugged in, and he did ask nicely. So just plug the guy in.
You know, I wonder why they would be hesitant to bring someone like him back. I mean, we have an actor like Kenneth Mitchell who has played several roles on Discovery, and did so like a chameleon because of his craftsmanship as an actor. You know,
And they saved money on the plaster casts of his face.
Right. They did save money on the plastic casts. Right. And he was, of course, helped by the disguise of the prosthetics. I think I'd be cool with having Jeffrey Combs come back on a live action show, even if it's for like a random Andorian or something, you know, some random alien character.
Yeah, Strand descendant, or descendant, right?
But I wonder if they feel about him the way JJ felt about old Trek, where it's like, nah, we don't want to have anybody come back. I guess not, though, because they, like, Jonathan Frakes is directed.
Combs has always been a go-to actor to add depth to a particular race. He had a depth to added depth to Ferengi. He helped add depth to Andorians. He added depth, for God's sake. Jeffrey Combs has always added depth to his characters. He added it to Andorians. He added it to Ferengi. He added it to our good friend Wayun the Vorta. So, is there a race in Discovery? Is there a race in Discovery that needs more depth? We're seeing potentially a lot more depth and exploration of Saru's race. So let's get him there. Let's throw him in the mix and make him a Kelpian and add depth. That would be my suggestion. Depth.
Dave Rutley agrees. Yeah, I think he could do whatever. Remember when he played that? I was just watching DS9. He played that one alien, and I don't even know what species they were. That was obsessed with Kira and wanted the holodeck image of her for shenanigans on the holodeck.
Yeah, that's just creepy alien number 2.
Yeah, so good.
I'm sure he had a name. The character did have a name, but it was creepy alien number 2.
Well, it's definitely good to have him back, and we hope that it won't be the last time we see him in a new Trek. Roscoe, do you want to read your own, or do you want to...
I can do this one.
Okay.
Sure. Now, some news that, as Star Trek fans, we've all known for a while, but it's heartwarming to see it confirmed. Yes, the cast of The Next Generation really do all like each other. In fact, they're all incredibly close. In an interview with The Express in the UK, Marina Sirtis confirmed that the cast do indeed see themselves as a family. They've been friends since the early days of the series, and the producers hated it. Quote, "They hate when the cast like each other because they talk. Producers don't want you talking. They want us all hating each other and being competitive with each other so that they can lie to you. So that they can lie to you. End quote. Curtis explains how after the death of her husband, it was the crew who were there for her soon after. LeVar Burton, Brent Spiner, and Michael Dorn all immediately visited with Curtis on the day her husband, Michael Lamper, died. She also spoke about the support she received from Gates McFadden. For the full interview, check out our show notes.
I love her. She never fails to just say what's up. She's just no nonsense and also hilarious.
Yeah, she calls a spade a shovel. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
We can move on to the next one.
Let's.
All right. I'm assuming I'm reading this one.
Unless you don't want to.
No, I'm good. All right. Akiva Goldsman has recently. Oh, I can't even read what I wrote myself. All right, hold on. Akiva Goldsman has an damn it. I got this. Don't worry.
Never any doubt.
Akiva Goldsman has been extremely busy of late, acting as an executive producer and co-showrunner for both Star Trek Picard and Strange New Worlds. If those two roles weren't keeping him busy enough, he also wrote and directed the pilot episode of Strange New Worlds. Goldsman told TrekMovie.com that it was really important to him that he set the tone and the style of the show, saying, quote, I really wanted to make a show that would have appealed to the 12-year-old. Wait, hold on. Quote, I really wanted to make a show that would have appealed to the 12-year-old me that went to... Curses! I should have had more to drink. Quote, I really wanted to make a show that would have appealed to the 12-year-old me that went to that Star Trek convention in 1974. And it felt like the best way to do that would be to kind of help set the tone visually and really more in storytelling, end quote. He also notes that the audience will notice some changes in the uniforms and sets from how they appeared in Discovery, since he wanted it to look more in line with the original series. As we've mentioned in previous episodes, Strange New Worlds will be episodic, and Goldsman expounds on that, saying, quote, our characters will carry with them what they suffer from or what they learned from episode to episode, but the stories are episodic, end quote. In addition to the show being episodic, hold on. Excuse me. In addition to the show being episodic, Goldsman says that the show is meant to be an ensemble piece, so it won't just be the Pike show, while it won't go into every character's backstory each episode, there will be a focus on different characters as the show goes on.
I'm wondering if at one point there will be a temporal anomaly and we'll see an appearance from an old favorite, because Akiva Goldsman mentioned that the characters are going to suffer. So maybe there'll be an appearance from Chief Miles O'Brien.
What do you mean?
He suffered every season. He suffered and was tortured every single season of Deep Space Nine. He went through some incredibly traumatic event. He could never just have a nice
really did.
exploratory episode. It's like, no, Miles, we're going to make you suffer. We're going to send you to prison for the rest of your life, except that happened in 2 hours, and now go back to your life. Come on.
But wait, you're suggesting that maybe Miles will do some kind of timey-wimey thing to come back into the era?
Well, they mentioned suffering, so immediately my first thought is, obviously they're going to bring back Chief O'Brien because they want people to suffer.
I see. You know,
Well,
Go ahead, Kat.
no, go ahead.
No, please.
Oh, I'm just going to say that I didn't realize that Goldsman was co-show running both of these shows, which I find fantastic because he really is a Star Trek fan.
You know, I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't know that I trust Akiva Goldsman.
What?
Yeah, I don't know that I trust him. I haven't really enjoyed much of anything he's ever produced. And every time I watch something that he's produced, he finds a way to inject himself somehow into the movie. Most recently, there was that movie with that I think was a Tom Clancy kind of adaptation with the actor. I forget the actor's name, but like it just wasn't that good. It was on Amazon Prime. It was a movie on Amazon Prime, and it just wasn't that good. And Akiva Goldsman was executive producer on that, and also managed to inject himself. It was like a screen of the CIA's Most Wanted, and one of the pictures was him, and it said Akiva Goldsman under the name. So I think the man has great intentions, but somehow things just slip through his finger. Maybe he's just so excited. It's like that scene in Tommy Boy where I just have this beautiful little pet, and then I crush it. Rah! Right? That anybody? Tommy Boy? Nobody? All right. Well,
yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. But I'm like, please don't let that be the case. I'm like, oh no.
I just feel like Akiva Goldsman is like Tommy Boy, and yeah, and that's what happens with the shows.
Well, he's certainly injecting himself in this because he's written the pilot.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and written and
no, for a
directed.
start.
So yeah, if that's first episode is, I think it's gonna be amazing.
I certainly hope so. Akiva,
Got a great
if you're
cast.
listening, let's remember that Chris Farley was a national treasure.
Akiva,
Oh.
if you're listening, come on the show.
That too. That too. Where are we? Prodigy. Go ahead, Ross. Go read it.
All right. Star Trek Prodigy is a month away from its debut, and the showrunners are dropping some tiny Trek nuggets in some lead-up interviews. In a chat with Trek Movie, Prodigy executive producers Kevin and Dan Hageman and co-executive producer / director Ben Hibben reinforced the idea that this new series, specifically for kids, is an entry point to the franchise. Kevin Hageman said, quote, "While these are kids in our show, they're in the adult world of Trek, and they're gonna slowly discover it and have their falls and their victories and stuff. It really is a show for people who have not experienced Trek before," end quote. The journey of the Prodigy crew starts in the Delta Quadrant with many familiar races that Voyager came across. In the interview, the producers mentioned there are very well thought out reasons why we will see so many Alpha Quadrant species. Hang on. In the interview, the producers mentioned that there are very well thought out reasons why we will see so many Alpha species in the Delta Quadrant, but that no one has really got it yet. No one has really figured it out. They also mentioned that the USS Protostar was launched after Voyager returned home, but then quickly halted the conversation around the prototype's secret origins. The show takes place in 2383, 5 years after Voyager returned home.
Yeah, I don't know why, like, when the show takes place was such a secret.
Yeah, it takes place obviously after Voyager came home because we have a Captain Janeway hologram with all the experience that she's had in the Delta Quadrant. And they mentioned that it's all logs and the expertise that's been gathered along the way, downloaded that into a hologram. My theory is that this is further fallout from the caretaker from Voyager, because he'd been bringing ships to the Delta Quadrant long before Voyager. We had the Equinox, we had the Cardassian Dreadnought missile. So the Diviner, who's played by John Noble, he's been taking advantage for a long time of lost starships and crews and putting them to work. Because the caretaker had been bringing them in. That's why we may see more Alpha Quadrant species in the Delta Quadrant. That's my theory. Throwing it out there.
Fascinating.
Wow.
Theory. Fascinating. Well,
Pretty-
I'm looking forward to watching the premiere at New York Comic Con on that Sunday.
Aw,
Speaking of New
When
York
is
Comic
that?
jelly. I'm jelly.
when is New York Comic Con? 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when it is. I forgot already.
Isn't it
I forget
the
what
weekend
date is.
of like the
7th.
10th?
There we go.
Oh, 7th. That was way off.
So, Roscoe, that is happening on Sunday, October 10th. New York Comic Con starts on Thursday, October 7th. And don't forget that Roddenberry Podcasts is presenting a panel, Star Trek, the community according to Star Trek. And I will be along with, and that panel is being presented by Sue and Kennedy from Women and More. And that panel is going to be with Sue and Kennedy from Women at Warp, and I'll be joining them for that. And I'm really excited. That's happening on Saturday, October 9th at 2:15 p.m. So don't miss it. It'll be right after the Discovery panel. So rush back over to the Javits Center and be sure to catch that panel. And last but not least, before we move on to gaming news, here are a few headlines that we didn't discuss, but we thought might interest you. Links, of course, will be in our show notes. Cat.
We need more cat in this episode.
If you've been on the fence about adding a new streaming subscription plan, perhaps Viacom CBS's latest promotion might incentivize you. For $9.99 with commercials or $12.99 without, you can have Paramount Plus and Showtime. Hey, that's a pretty good deal. This is a permanent price for you so long as you take advantage of it before October. Hold on. This is a permanent price for you. Dang. This is a permanent price for you so long as you take advantage of it before the October 20th deadline. Also, be sure to use our affiliate links in our show notes.
And if you haven't already heard, the Orville Season 3 returns on March 10th, 2022 via Hulu. We are so very excited for the premiere of Season 3. Gosh, I missed that show.
Hooray! Really good to hear. Cannot wait.
Roscoe, why don't you super?
Yeah.
Well, Captains, that's all the news we have to trek out this week. Now, let's find out what happened. Just one of those days. Just one of those days, folks. You know, you just gotta roll with it.
Yep.
It was the chaos early on. It was the chaos. So this is your fault, Elio. This is your fault. I'm like Miles O'Brien in here. I'm caused to suffer. Just going to play my violin.
Speaking of Akiva Goldsman.
How bad I have it.
That's from, isn't that Batman Forever? That's what.
Well, Captains, that's all the news we have to trek out this week. Now, let's find out what happened in the world of Star Trek gaming.
26 on the dot, Cat. Please.
I was ignoring you and pushing on.
Isn't that Jim Carrey? He's like,
yeah, timed out beautifully.
I forgot Jim Carrey was in that
yes,
Batman movie. Oh, man.
when he's the Riddler.
That is too funny.
All right, gaming news. Let's roll right in. Starting at 26:30, please. 26:30. 3, 2. Well, it appears something spooky is going to happen in Star Trek Online on October 13th. We don't know what, but there was a cryptic tweet made earlier this week telling us to remember the curse. In the video, we see some type of coat rack or a hat stand and a black cat. Inserted images of a possible raven with a creepy clock ticking. With a creepy clock ticking in the background. What does it all mean?
I like we can celebrate Halloween if that's what it is. Early, it's 2 weeks before. I mean, we could just celebrate Halloween the whole month of October, and that'd be pretty all right. But I kind of have a clue. I think we all got a clue, maybe, as to what this might be.
What? What's the clue? I just figured it was the Bonnie Ken episode.
No, Roscoe, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh no, I don't.
Okay,
I have a theory, but You say it first.
Okay, well, remember when Temporal Agents started and everyone was having that visual error in the tailor for the witch hat? And it showed like a bald head and then your hair. Do you guys in chat remember this? Because I feel like we're getting awesome Halloween costumes. Finally, yes.
Oh, is that what's happening? We're getting Halloween costumes? All right.
I don't. Well, that's what I suspect. But see, Kel MG. Yes, remember? So yeah, they had this whole thing with a bald head, but then hair on the side image
It
problem.
was a bug? Is that what it was? It was a bug?
Yeah, display bug. But it said witch hat was the option, so people were picking it.
So they uploaded. All right. So hold on. Let's break this down here a second. They uploaded ahead of time. Yeah. Something slipped through the cracks called witch hat into the tailor, but it was not yet fully rendered in the game.
Correct. It just gave you the bald top of your head and hair on the side, like,
Huh. Fascinating. Well.
Yeah.
All right. Halloween costumes it is.
I hope so. That's gonna be so awesome. Please, can we have a fedora?
I was looking at the background in the very short, spooky tweet, and it looked like the rooms on Borth and the recent remaster that they've done on Borth. So I thought maybe it's going to take place there because there's lots of supernatural, otherworldly things that happen on Borth.
Or we might actually end up going back down to Grethor.
Yeah.
Or something.
I don't know. Matt Black just saying there's that TOS episode Cat's Paw. I don't remember that episode.
Look, I don't know about you guys, but I saw the black cat and I went, deja vu. Whoa.
Oh.
Drink.
Drink. Dang it.
All right.
I saw the black cat and I thought, bet you Elios, he's gone Matrix on this.
I did go
guaranteed.
Matrix on it. I even tweeted about it and everything. All right. What's next?
I don't know. Bundles and more bundles. You want me to read this one?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
All right. All right, kitty, go away. The next installment of the Ships of the Line remastering and repackaging advent. Oh, hold on. I did not write that well. The next installment of the Ships of the Line remastering and repackaging adventure, the Blockade Runner Bundle, hits the Zen store on Friday, October 1st on PC to start. The price is 5,000 Zen, but you can get it for 35% off until October 8th. The bundle, if you choose to purchase it, also includes 1 ship upgrade token, 2 experimental ship upgrade tokens, the T1 Blockade Runner Escort, and the T5 Blockade Runner Escort retrofit, plus the new T6 Appalachia Blockade Runner Escort. Now, I'm talking about the Steam Runner ships. If you got those via Steam and have them, this bundle includes those plus the new T6 ship. But in what we hope is a new move for Zen Store releases, the T6 Appalachia will also be available as a separate purchase in the Zen Store. So that's new and different. The ship featured. I know. I'm like, wow. I hope that they're trying out these different methods, but that they really do offer single ships when they have a bundle like this. Anyway, this ship features a 4-3 weapons layout and a lieutenant commander tactical / command bridge officer specialist seat, and a lieutenant universal / intel bridge officer specialist seat. Plus, it can load dual cannons. It comes equipped with It comes equipped with the Universal Console Tribolt. Yeah, awesome. Drink. It's not even a hard word. And it comes equipped with the Universal Console Cobalt. Dang it.
Not tribal.
You got this. Try Cobalt.
Well, I'm getting tripped up because there's a lot of words after that. And it comes equipped with the Universal Console, the Tri-Cobalt Tear Launcher, plus an experimental weapon slot equipped with Hull Spike Battery. The mastery trait is piercing projectiles, so when you activate a torpedo or mine firing mode, bridge officer abilities will grant a large shield penetration and hull penetration bonus for a short time. Whew, that was a lot. I bet you this ship is going to be awesome. But I don't normally fly those steam runners. What do you guys in chat think about this ship? Or what do you guys think about this ship? Are you going to get the bundle?
I like the idea of the hull spike battery and then a bonus on shield penetration and hull penetration, because the hull spike battery already, I think I was reading it already has some hull penetration bonuses as well. So it just doubles down on that. That could be fun. Very fun.
Yeah. I thought I was reading in the tooltip it was like plus 200 hull pen. It's some crazy number. Of course, those are always subject to change. But wow. George was saying that he thinks the ship looks really cool.
Yeah, I really like the look of it. I completely agree with George. The update that they've made, it's in line with the 2410 stylings, but very sleek, looks great. Very much enjoy the curves of the Appalachia Tier 6.
Right. Do you guys have any of these steam runner ships? See, my problem is I have I have the tier 1 and the tier 5 ship already. So I'm really trying. I mean, I guess if it's on sale, it might be okay to get the bundle, but I don't know. That's what I'm struggling with.
I don't think I have the steam runner on any of my characters. No, I don't.
Either do I.
So, yeah, I would probably look at getting this just for fun.
I mean, it's, what's 35? I'm like, I don't know the math, but 35% off 5,000 is what, 40 something Zen, 4,000 something Zen? Whatever. Math numbers here. So it's not.
Insert math
it's not
numbers here.
I'm like, it's not the worst price. It's actually a pretty fairly priced bundle, I think. I probably
Couple
will
of
end up
experimental
getting
ship
it.
upgrade tokens. Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah.
I'm liking that. And
Yeah.
the fact,
But what
let's
does
talk about the
5,000
fact
Zen
that
translate to dollars again?
$50.
$50.
$50
So
US.
yeah, for $40-ish, you get
Or
all
40
that
while
stuff.
it's on sale.
Yeah. So
All right, why
3
don't we
ships.
move on to the
yeah.
next story.
Yeah.
Before we do, let's talk about the fact that the ship is available on its own for purchase from the Zen store. Because that's good. This is a very good step forward, I feel, because it just makes sense to have ships in bundles available separately. That makes sense to me as a player who goes, I can't afford that bundle, but I would like that one in particular, so I'll get that one. Not all of them, just the one. What do you guys think?
This is certainly a move in the right direction. I think that players have been quite vocal about the desire to purchase ships that are not bundled, that they are willing to do so. I hope that they will be able to look at this data of these purchases, and I hope that if they see that they are in fact making as much money as they would selling it in the bundle, that they will continue to do so. Sometimes corporations, and to my understanding, the people who control these prices and bundles is Perfect World and not Cryptic. Let's be real, more often than not, what they care about is lining pockets, right? They need to hit a bottom line and they need to make a profit. So I hope that they see this and that the data satisfies them enough where players can continue to take advantage of these separate purchases. Sure, you can get it in a bundle for $40-something when it's on sale, or you can buy the ship outright on its own if you don't want any of the other stuff. I hope that they honor that data and that trust is maintained.
Yeah, so I hope this bundle is popular because this is the first time.
I hope that the individual ship purchase is popular.
Well, exactly. Both of those to show like, hey, people will buy the bundle, but they definitely want the ship. So even if you're not making as much, look at the number of people that just want the one ship.
Right.
Maybe those numbers will incentivize them to do this more often.
Roscoe, if you don't have anything to add, go ahead and jump into the next story.
I don't have anything to add. Prompted by a recent Stowe Reddit thread, website Massively OP dedicated their Massively Overthinking column on September 23rd to one question. Would you play your favourite MMO without its IP? Many MMOs were on the table for discussion, but there were some interesting opinions on Star Trek Online. Writer Andy McAdams pointed out, quote, I started binging on Star Trek Discovery again, and it made me want to play the game, so I downloaded it. But I know I don't particularly enjoy the game, and I'm only playing it for the IP. For me, I don't think it would stand on its own, end quote. Another writer, Tyler Edwards, says, quote, I don't think I'd ever have spent any significant amount of time on this game without the IP, end quote. But he hits an important note, pointing out that, quote, what makes the game work is the massive amount of love the people behind it clearly have for the Star Trek universe, end quote.
Oh, that's nice.
This is a fascinating question because, I mean, let's look at the MMO landscape, right? I mean, a lot of MMOs that have come out over the last 10 years, let's say, have been IP heavy, right? I think of DC Universe Online, Star Trek and Neverwinter, Cryptic Studios and Neverwinter, well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe the MMO universe is not so rich with IP, right? You've got some Star Wars, you've got your Star Trek, you've got your Magic the Gathering. You had Champions that was supposed to be a Marvel's thing, but didn't really end up being Champions. I don't know. For me personally, I start playing an MMO mostly because of an IP draw of some sort. Like, I think of Secret World Legends for me. Secret World, I was hoping was going to fill the void that was left behind from The Matrix Online. And it didn't really, right? The Secret World was very much a combination of, you know, science fiction, fantasy, Buffy the Vampire Slayer mixed with Doctor Who, timey-wimey. You know, it's just weird. Maybe not Doctor Who, but it was just a very unique game. Although fun and unique, but the mechanics were still quite a bit off and complicated.
Yeah, I had a hard time with the mechanics of that game. I wanted to enjoy it. It was just hard for me to maneuver.
Right. It's really clunky. It just feels clunky.
Mm-hmm.
Although the voice acting and the cinematics are compelling, the gameplay gets kind of tiresome. Yeah, I don't know that I would play this Star Trek. Let's play it Boldly Galaxy, the MMO. I don't know.
Boldly Galaxy Star Journey.
Boldly Galaxy Star Journey. Yeah, I don't know that I would play that game. Maybe.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have played except for the IP. I didn't even play video games before I found that game. And then I was like, wait, what? I can have my own starship. Sign me up.
It's a hard question to ask because some games become the IP, right? And it's like, sorry, Roscoe, what about you?
No. You're on a train of thought. Go.
No, I just think of Halo, right? Like, Halo was a great first-person shooter, and then that established the IP, right? So I feel like I would play anything that's Halo, right? But I don't know. This is such a deep question, right? Just imagine if the ships all look like Starfleet, but it wasn't, right? Like it was boldly going. What do we say? Star Journey.
Boldly going galaxy star journey.
Yes.
But you lose a lot of the like, what's the point of boldly going Star Journey, except, like, if you don't, like, what's the purpose? You're just, like, running around.
But what's the purpose of World of Warcraft? World of Warcraft was like its own MMO that then launched essentially an IP, its own IP, right?
It's true.
So I guess the question is, what makes a good MMO, right? Like, what keeps you?
Good story. Yeah, good story or whatever. Yeah.
From my experience, Star Trek Online is the only MMO that I've really ever put any time into. When I came to the game, I thought, oh, maybe this is something that I want to play. And do I want to play other MMOs? And I tried Neverwinter, and that didn't quite gel for me. It just wasn't my thing. And mostly, looking back on it now, is because I didn't get the IP. I wasn't as invested in the IP as I was in Star Trek. And that's one of the reasons why I've stuck with Star Trek Online, is because it is a way to role play and have your own captain and go on these adventures in this universe that we're so passionate about. So for me, that makes up a big draw card as to why I keep playing this game and enjoying this game as well. I really enjoy this game because it puts me in that world. Recently, I've been playing on console Destiny 2 and been playing that a little bit more because I've really enjoyed getting back into a first-person shooter. And the lore in that game is so heavy. And again, that's a game that has, like Halo, become its own IP. It's just this broad world that is so deep. I'm constantly finding out new ways, new paths in the game and new ways to explore. And it is just massive. And it's taken, and if anything, the IP almost has been a hindrance to me getting fully into the game because there's just so much story.
Right. That's how I have that
with
problem
Star Trek.
too,
That could, it's a great game, and I'm really enjoying playing it. But the lore and the backstory is really, really heavy. You know, I was in my YouTube feed, something popped up, and it was a 2-hour video explaining Destiny lore, and I'm like, I kind of want to watch that, but I don't have time to watch that. I'm just going to go and shoot some bad guys. That's fine. With Star Trek, thankfully, I'm already on board the train. I don't have to catch up. So that makes playing Star Trek Online easier. But in answer to the question, yeah, I don't think, if I wasn't already on board the train, I'm not sure I would actually get on, space journeys, galaxy star journey. Yeah.
Right. You know, I just looking at it from an MMO, like objectively as an MMO, Star Trek Online works.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that, and that's kind of mediocre, isn't it? You know, to say that it works. It does its thing. You go in and you fly and you shoot and you get your thing. But, you know, some mechanics are quite cumbersome, right? And some of the additions, like, you know, you still have the DOF system that hasn't been touched in ages. You have a reputation window that also hasn't been touched in ages. Mechanically,
Got Elio. He hasn't been touched in ages.
Oh,
sorry, couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm mostly sorry.
well, I can't even. That was a pretty slick burn. I was not expecting it. And it just came out of nowhere like a submarine missile. Damn, I got nothing now. That's it. I'm done for the night. I'm out. Peace.
Sorry. Continue. Go on. Continue.
What was I saying before I was so?
You haven't been touched in ages.
Before I was so inappropriately interrupted. you have some mechanics that haven't been touched in ages, and new systems that sometimes are introduced. I think the game needs some love, and I think that for a 10-year-old game, I like Star Trek. After 50 years, I feel like it's starting to collapse a little under its own weight. Right? You got an R&D system that doesn't really do anything, DOS system that doesn't really do anything, a reputation system that, unless you're a new player, you really don't do much with, right? Yeah, a duty off and an admiralty system that, although interesting, I think would have been a great thing to do as an interactive mobile game while you're away from your computer, little things like that. So I don't know that I would stay on this cryptic game, because it is 2 games also. Remember, you have a space platform and you have a ground platform. Comparatively, I love City of Heroes. City of Heroes is a great game.
Yeah, and look, some great points in the chat as well. Dave Rutley says, I believe that the IP gives added depth to the MMO. So we're adding depth. Thank you, Dave. Don't apologize. And that's a very good point. It gives the game added depth. And now it's like, okay, so the game is 11, coming up on next year, 12 years old. And there's some elements that are 12 years old. There's some elements of the game that are brand new, and some of them have just been added along the way, like the Admiralty system a few years ago was a great idea, because it's a way to send your starships off on another adventure, and it's another grindy way to get some excellent rewards. But now we're moving forward, and I just keep on hoping that the game will continue to move forward. And there's a lot of people working very hard on making sure that happens. So, yeah, I'm continue to be hopeful with Star Trek Online that it continues to have a life, because again at the end of the day, we like playing it. We enjoy playing the game, and we keep on going back to it, and we keep on putting our money where our mouth is, and spending money and time in the game as well.
Are we? I haven't spent money in the game in several months. And
I spend money. I spend money in the game all the time.
I think that our ongoing conversation about we missed the story says a lot, right? Answers a lot to this question, right? Is that the game mechanics that are currently present in Star Trek Online only go so far before we're clamoring for new story, right? Because it is story in the Star Trek universe. Right, so I think that says that that commentary that we frequently give says a lot to this question as well. I'm good. I'm done. If anybody else wants to add, Kat, you can sweep us out.
No, that's good. I'm good.
I'm good.
Community question?
Do we have one?
No, because I'd rather no, because we're technically having a conversation about somebody else's column. So I don't want to. If you want to add your commentary for everybody who's live right now, if you want to add your commentary, head on over to Massively and be sure to write in their comment section.
Yeah, join their conversation as well, because they're the lovely folks that got us talking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that wraps up gaming news this week. Now let's look on screen to the latest episode of Lower Decks Season 2.
52 on the dot. 52 on the dot.
Yeah, we're all even Stevens today.
All right. We'll do 52:15 for feedback. 3, 2. Well, Captains, hailing frequencies are now open, and we're ready to receive all of your incoming messages.
Oh, did we have messages? Hold on. This week we got a voice fail.
Voice fail,
which is not true. Boo. But we could use that in the future. This week we got a voicemail from Kimara Ironhand. Let's have a listen.
And through the magic of editing, The voicemail will be inserted. I have to admit to you something, Kamara. When you first started talking, I was a little nervous. And then you continued on. And it was a delightful voicemail. I am so glad that you took advantage of our SpeakPipe widget on our website and left us a message, especially this one. Look, man, I'm with you. Let's get Orions in Starfleet Academy. And thank you for the voicemail. Seriously. I hope it's not the last time you do.
Yep, call us again. That was delightful. I love your opinion to have more Orions in Starfleet. Yes, let's do that. I actually did make a Tendi using an alien, so I have a Romulan-like character, but I hear what you're saying. I would like an actual Orion as well.
Roscoe, nothing?
I have nothing further to add. You can kind of build an Orion in Starfleet right now using the alien, but it's not quite the same. And you can have an Andorian, you can have a Vulcan. So, which extra trait would you give to an Orion if you had them in Starfleet? Would it be a little bit different to what the Klingon Orions have? That would be fun. So well worth exploring. So, yes, thank you very much for the voicemail. And please leave us a voicemail through the Priority One website.
That's right. Well, that wraps up. Oh, shit, I should give you a timestamp. 54:34. Actually, no, this still goes. I forgot. That feedback and closing are together.
I was like,
yeah,
these were
all
the
the
same
same.
thing.
Well, that wraps up episode 525 of Priority One, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast. But there are more great shows available to you on the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Just visit podcasts.roddenberry.com for a complete list. Then be sure to subscribe to them all and share them with your friends.
But we can't forget to send a special thank you to some of our Patreon supporters, like David K. Rutley, Peter Archibald, and Gerald Bosch.
I take this one, right, Kat? Or because you're... Yeah, okay. We're back to reading this, right? Kat?
Yes.
Okay. Captains, it is important to us that you get your voice heard. And, like you heard a moment ago, you can leave us a voicemail, because we love it when you participate in the conversation. Leave us a comment on our website, on our social media platforms. Visit us over at PriorityOnePodcast.com and use the SpeakPipe widget, or heck, use the voice memo feature on your phone and email it to us to incoming@PriorityOnePodcast.com.
And if you're still craving more, be sure to spend time with Winters, Anthony, Thomas, Gray, me, plus the rest of the Priority One Armada. Saturday nights, the Armada broadcasts live to review the latest news from Star Trek Online and the Armada community, including spotlighting some of our amazing members. With regular giveaways, there's something for all Stowe players, whether you're new or a veteran. Follow us on all our social media accounts for broadcast times, and if you'd like to join the Armada, visit PriorityOneArmada.com.
This episode of Priority One is brought to you by our patrons through patreon.com. Captains, we are humbled by the ongoing support that we continue to receive from listeners like you who find value in the content that we produce each and every week. To find out all the cool perks we have to offer and to continue to support the show, visit us over at patreon.com/PriorityOne.
And don't forget to tune in to Priority One Productions' Guard Frequency podcast at guardfrequency.com. Each episode, the Guard will take you inside the universe of your favorite space sims, including a tabletop adventure played out by your hosts. And Heroes Rise brings you up to date with the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Learn all about the latest publications, tools, tips, tricks, and traps in less time than it takes to skin a wyvern. Head over to heroesrisepodcast.com to discover their secrets.
Would Dungeons and Dragons be as fun for everybody if it was fish boats
Hallways and wyverns?
What? Caves and Puppies.
Caves and... yeah. Thanks to our audio editors, including Gray, Brandon, William, Rand, Alex, and Lennon. Thanks to our producer, Jake, and associate producers, Shane and Thomas. Together, they help us organize and write up our summary of the weekly headlines from the Star Trek multiverse. Thanks to our graphic artist, Alejandro, with support from Jason of the Priority 1 Armada. Thanks to our social media manager, Sarah. Thanks to our social media managers, Sarah. Thanks to our social media managers, Sarah and James. Thanks to the composer of our theme music, Chris Watts. But most importantly, a big thanks to you, the Star Trek community, our listeners. Because without your ongoing support, none of this would be possible. All right, Captains, we're going to sign off. I'm not going to hit stop on this recording because we've got to record on screen off air. And invite Dr. Michael Chan to join us coming up here soon. So,
Yes, Jamal. Yes, she did.
I was force-choked. So before I leave you all, before we leave you all, I would like to end with Roscoe. Go fuck yourself. Say goodnight, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
God. Have a great week.